Welcome back to Takeout. Welcome to the Conversation Corner. So, lessons on leadership from the battlefield to the boardroom. That's what retired four-star General Stanley McChrystal says he will share in a new online class. The offering arrives this Thursday on the educational platform known as MasterClass, and I will betray myself as a insufferable elitist by saying I'm a subscriber to MasterClass. I love this stuff. Dan, it's great to have you here. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
You had a career forged by tremendous high-visibility successes and some things that were criticized as failures. So you understand the burdens of both and the advantages of both, because there are advantages to successes, but also advantages to failure. Do you go through that in your course?
I do, if you learn from failure. There's no advantage if you don't.
Right.
And so I think any challenge, not always whether you fail or not, is where you learn. And that's the heart of this masterclass.
And what you learn in the military, is it applicable in other realms of life? Or do you have to be in the military to learn things that can prepare you for a life that's never going to be in the military?
No, it's surprising how much the military is like everything else and how much everything else is like the military. We used to always joke that we were superior, more organized. Absolutely not true. And the reality
And you've learned that in your experience in the private sector.
I've been 15 years now working with private companies, and it's, except for the uniforms, it's the same thing.
Mm-hmm. And is the accountability different?
Well, the accountability has different structures to it. Okay. In many ways, the military is less flexible and less able to make decisive decisions, particularly in peacetime, than a corporation, because a corporate CEO can turn a company on a dime. A general, even the most senior, has laws and politics and things that hold them. And so as a consequence, when you get to war, sometimes generals find they've grown up in one environment and suddenly they have to be very decisive and open to change, and they're not ready for it.
Mm-hmm. You're here, and you have a distinguished career in the United States military. I would be derelict if I didn't ask you about some of the things going on at the Pentagon. One, there's been a tremendous changeover in senior leadership. Also, there's this pledge that the Pentagon wants reporters who cover the Pentagon to sign, saying they would not ever obtain information that's not pre-approved by the Pentagon. Will you evaluate those two things?
Well, I'll start with the Pentagon needs to change. It needs to improve its acquisition. It needs to focus on threats in the world. It needs to shake off some of the old habits. And sometimes that means some of the people who can't change need to go as well. But what doesn't need to change is the fact that we require an open press. It needs the scrutiny. Every entity, if it doesn't have the light of day shining on it, after a while, that's cobwebs and things you shouldn't have. And so I think that anything that constrains the press unfairly or unfortunately, I think in the long term is going to cost. I would say similarly, if you do loyalty tests for senior officers, after a while, you're going to get people who are simply loyal. And it's fine to fire generals for incompetence or misconduct. But if you have a litmus test for loyalty, we won't be getting the best and the brightest. We'll also get a politicized military over time. It will slowly and insidiously soak into the service, and we'll suddenly have a military like some of the countries we don't respect as much.
Candidly, did you ever brush up with that when you were in senior leadership positions?
No. Interestingly, we never talked about politics. Now, there may have been some political pressures on decisions about Afghanistan or Iraq, but in any sessions with my peers, I never knew which general was liberal or conservative. You didn't talk about it. It was considered inappropriate, and that was good. And I think that there will always be political pressures, but you've got to keep an apolitical military.
Stan, very quickly, I've got about 45 seconds. There is a conversation about young workers in America. They're not willing or able to work as hard as previous generations. That's a longstanding lament. What's your experience and leadership advice in that space?
I think they just need to be led. They need to be given an opportunity. They need more information in the past, but they will absolutely work as hard as we ever thought about it. And they'll think more while they're doing it.
And probably think in new ways.
Exactly.
Which should be harnessed, not dismissed.
It should challenge the organization to make it better.
Stan McChrystal, always a pleasure, sir.
My honor.
Great to have you here. Thank you so much.